Before we get into today's conversation, we just want to give a big shout out to Kelly Rose Interiors, our very first sponsor. Your space should work for you and not against you. Kelly Rose Interiors specializes in turning houses, offices, and commercial spaces into modern, functional, and beautiful environments that actually feel like home. From concept to finish, they focus on detail, comfort, and style that lasts. If you're ready to elevate your space, Kelly Rose Interiors is the place to be, where design meets purpose.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the K&M podcast, the podcast where we talk about a lot of things from growth, wellness, business, faith, lifestyle. I'm your host, Kelly, and I'm so glad you're here with us today. Today's episode is a special one because we're joined by an incredible guest, the very own Nicholas Mafara Mashindu. In this episode today, we'll be diving into a special topic where we will be talking about starting with what you have, sharing real experiences, honest conversations, and practical insights you don't want to miss. So whether you're listening on your morning drive, during your workout, or winding down for the day, sit back and enjoy. Over to you, Marco.
Thank you, Miss Kelly. Thank you, Miss Kelly. We have Uncle Nick in the building, Nicholas Mafara Mashindu. For most people who know Kelly and I'm sure they obviously know Nick. He's I've been friends with Nicholas for how long now? It was before COVID. That's what I know. So about 6, 7 years. Yes, as about 6, 7 years. Mafara is a transport and logistics specialist. He looks like LeBron James, ladies. He looks like LeBron James. Over to you, Nick. Over to you.
It's an honor. It's an honor, guys. Thank you for hosting me today. To go far now. My
Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you, Miss Kelly. Thank you, Uncle Marco.
Yeah, thank you, Baba. For ladies and gentlemen, for those who know the K&M podcast, I'm sure you all know that Mafara is our first guest. So let's dive in. Let's talk about what it means to start with what you have, start with where you are. So Mafara, like generally, just tell us how's life been like overall, like just general, just take us through.
Um, um, Firstly, I'm honored to be the first guest of this podcast, but it's an honor. We thank you so much. I thank you so much actually for including me as the first. It's an honor. So generally, life has been well, and I'm grateful for where I am today. And thanks to the Lord, He has taken me on this side. He's still taking me further. Everything has been well. I've been working at Judicial Service Commission. Clocking a year in the next 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. And we've been grinding there. And everything has been well.
Nice. That's nice, Mr. Mafara. Yeah, so looking at the topic that we have, I'm sure Miss Kelly can confirm. The three of us are people who have often shared ideas. We've tried to share insights, be it in business, in life, in relationships, in the situations that we've faced. And the topic today, we're trying to let the listener know and understand that it's not too late to start, it's not too early to start. Wherever you are with whatever you have, you can do something. So let's just like from the phrase, it would start with what you have. Miss Kelly, can you unpack that for us? Kuti start with what you have. Zvokunyatsorevei tiri kuedza kuti chii kune munhu ari mustreet umu kana kuti ari kuteerera.
Yeah, that question, I think it means exactly what it says. Where you are, how you are, with who you are, just start. So what are we starting?
Exactly.
Maybe you've been on the wrong path. You feel this is not it. I'm 49 years old now and currently I can't start because I'm old. This particular segment is us trying to break it down to you that no matter where you are with who you are, what you were doing, you can always go back to the drawing board to start revamp. Could be revamping or actually starting the whole thing, the whole processes again. Could be starting your business, restarting your life, restarting processes that you felt you were stuck in, all those kind of things. So you can always do from where you are. It doesn't matter your age, your gender. It doesn't matter where you are. You could be staying in the outskirts of who knows where. You can always start from that particular angle.
The fact you have an idea. Munoziva kastatement kaike katinogara chinzwa vanzi kana ndazoita mari ndiri kuda kuzo. Mr. Mafara, I think you can confirm tine maideas akawanda atakambotaura ataigara chiti kana ndikazoita mari.
Yeah, can confirm my guy. I chop at each other. And the treatment you know we have condemned it.
Exactly, bro. I need money first, I need connections first, I need confidence first. It's unfortunate to say that the world has tried to portray a picture that you have to reach a certain standard for you to be able to take a step in the right direction. Kuti unofana hunge uchidrive a big Benz kuti uzonzi waita a big investment. That's the unfortunate part. And as a result, vazhinji we take a back seat in the things that we think we can do. Nekuti tinenge chingoti kuti inini shuwa ndikabva ndanzi ndinofamba namafara shuwa munhu akafanana LeBron James kana kuti ndingabva ndaassociata naMiss Kelly here shuwa inini and then you see that just downplays the entire idea unobva watodzokera kumashure. So let's look at what chichi chatinacho. Nekuti if we are saying that the topic is start with what you have, then what do we have? Kana tanyatsoratidza kuti zveshuwa we have nothing, but what do we have? What do we have in our possession? Mr. Mafara, what do you think we can start with? Chichatinacho, what are the resources or what are the tools that we have as young people in this economy, in this generation, in this country?
Firstly, I would want to emphasize on the issue. I think we both grew up in a community where we used to do things in groups. Like with school, you could even do group 1 day, group 2 day, and group 3. And that system created the gym where we should move with a certain speed in life. But when I get into my 20s, I'm supposed to be doing this and this. I think most of the dreams are killed in those seasons. Because Kelly did this, so I'm supposed to be doing this. So I think the best thing that we have as beings is the self-discovery. We should discover ourselves and really know who we are and really know where we are in the road that we are in. Because I know that's discover the
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
so I think the first thing that you have is you. The first person that you have in your life is you.
It's you.
Discover yourself.
That's very powerful. That's very powerful.
Yeah.
Miss Kelly, what do we have, Miss Kelly? What are the assets that we have? Miss Kelly is a young business lady who's into interior design. What are the items that we have?
We have life, Marco. That's the ultimate of our existence. We have life. As long as you are living, you've got the potential to do whatever it is that you want to do. So you doing it means you're already starting doing something. Outside of life, we have people that surround us. Like Mr. Nicholas said, we know outside of ourselves, we're always looking at what other people are doing. But I think I always say this: there is room for everyone at the top.
That's true.
It just takes an individual person to just say, you know what, I don't want to be like everyone else. I don't want to stay in this mediocre space. I want to do the extraordinary so that I go to where others are going as long as I'm rising. So tools wise, for example, we have graduates that are sitting at home. They are looking for jobs that align with what they studied in school, but they are failing to get those jobs. But they're always at home. There is no green light. The economy is fighting them. Everything seems to be just, in shambles.
In shambles, exactly.
We do say, find something that you do. Let life catch you doing something.
Yeah,
always
true.
Be on your toes for the next big thing. Not to just relax and say, you know what, I did accounting, so I'll wait for an accounting position at these companies. If they are not providing those, or if there is no one dead to be replaced, then you're always going to be wishing and hoping that you get that particular position at that particular firm.
Exactly.
So we are saying, from where you are as the graduate that you are, what you've acquired in college, what you've acquired in high school, what are you doing with that knowledge? Is it just going to stick in your head, or you're going to take it and apply it to the daily life choices that you make?
Exactly.
The people that surround us, our parents, our families, we learn one or two things out. Well, not even one or two, a million things from our families. Teaching places, we would always see our mothers going kumusika, especially with the type of background that we have. Our mothers would go kumusika, they would sell tomatoes and all that. Not that you are only aligned to a lineage on Tingisama tomatoes. But you would see with there were people that were not employed, but they were thriving in the spaces that they found themselves in. So it doesn't necessarily have to be you in the office with the pen and paper, jotting down notes and whatnot and whatnot. It's about you having the mindset to say, okay, this is where I am. But for me to live, to earn a living in this country, in this community, in this economy, these are the steps I have to follow. Who am I taking notes from?
Exactly. Yeah, that's true.
I think those are some of the basic tools that we have.
And I'm sure we've always mentioned this to our listeners. I would like to believe that each and every person has a problem that they understand well. Hakuna munhu atingati ane dambudziko raanoti somewhere somehow each and every person has that one item that bothers them. It might be the fact that probably the local supplier where chingwa is not efficient. The bread comes at around noon or past tea time, or maybe there's no quality milk being supplied, and I am continuing in the field that is related to my side, which is consumables like that. But for you, for each and every individual, there's that one item that you understand very well. There's a problem that you understand very well, and that is a gift. That is a gift in its own. The fact that you have a problem that you understand, that's what you have. That's an idea there. You have the potential to solve that problem. We are not saying kuti network yanetsa saka chigadzira line like network of your own or the likes. You can. I'm not saying that's not impossible, but a problem that is presented to you with a solution that you have in mind is a gift that you can tap into and use to unlock your true potential. You might embark on that mission or embark on that journey, and it might not turn out well. But it's better to embark on a mission and fail rather than to never follow that path and regret later. Kuti, I could have tried this. Ndakazongotadza, it's better for you to try and fail. Wozauti, I've learned something, because from that failure you pick up lessons. You learn from people along the way, and you pick up something that will teach you in the next stage of your journey.
Sure. I want you on that, Mr. Mukiki. I want that quote we said, an idle mind is the devil's workshop.
Yes.
I'll repeat it, that part is the devil's workshop.
Yes.
We use this elements by to exercise our mind, to think out of the box. Because in this era we are living in modern and digitized era, we have to, by all means, try and find problems within our capacity, or within what we have. I once had which says, man travels in the wagon of ideas. We have to look like, how best can I solve this? How best can I navigate through this situation? How best can I get out of the situation? And one thing that I've always telling myself about is not to get too comfortable in the situation of poverty. I hate poverty, and the people when you say like,
Right.
I hate poverty. I by all means, but I do it by the more you order, because I know which is that company on the poor those when things were tough like that. And I'm not saying which is that's people can don't cheat, but never together. But in those rules every time, it's much better to be it than go out and show it because of the two have experienced the pain and see how life can be. You just think around it, more good things are not that within we will never break my generational cases, my generational cases of poverty. We have to make sure that we do things wholeheartedly and do things. Be ready to go next from now. Yeah, so that's
That's true. That's
For
true.
sure.
And it's something that we've always mentioned. I think it's either we've mentioned this. It might not be apparent that we have said this to each other like tacitly three, but I'm sure during our conversations, one of us might have said this to the other, that we like good things, and as a result, we have to work for those good things. Like Mr. Mafara mentioned,
Yeah.
he hates poverty, and as a result, he knows it's in his mindset, and he knows the goal, he knows where he's aiming towards, and it pushes you in the right direction. It's like being in a jungle with a compass. You know that you have to go north. So whether you go north in Lugasangana Neshumba, it's still north. Continue going north. Whether it's going to be a river, you have to cross that river because you want to go north. That's the mindset that we're trying to share and trying to get people to try and embark on and see if they can adopt and maybe improve their lives. So guys, like looking at this topic, there's one big question that I have. Like why is it that most people never start? Like we're talking about starting to start with what you have, but why is it that most people never start?
So I think most people then don't start. This is one of the reasons, one of the major reasons I think why most people don't start. Fear of the unknown. Yeah. We are scared of things we don't know. If I start today, I'm not guaranteed of a win. And most certainly, if things don't go well, it's going to mean me losing. So I'm going to take a chance and with all the faith I've got to start. But at the back of my head, there is always that nudging tip of a finger that will always tell me that if you fail, everyone is watching. But we might never fail.
That's true. That's true. That's true. We might never fail.
But that's what I think. That's one of the reasons why I think most people don't start.
As for me, I think Mr. Mafu is familiar with this word. Successful men don't start without they have. They start but unfortunately, they don't start with what they have. They start where they are. I think you're familiar with this word.
I need you to repeat that, Mr. Mafara. Say it loud and clear.
Successful men don't start with what they have. They start where they are.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. So I think another reason why people are afraid to start in life is because of my trials and tribulations that we face throughout the journey of our trying times. You ever came across people who are not maybe you want to do something. Don't take that route.
Exactly. Yeah.
Some of the reasons why people never study is because of and that first maybe give up. And I would have with a soldier on the tribulations and the trials that he or she came across. So we as people, I think even in a good book says that count it all joy, brethren and sisters, when you fail to trials and tribulations of many times, because the testing of your faith produces perseverance. I think we should learn to live by the book, not to just memorize the scriptures and just try to know we should learn how to live the scripture.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So picking up from where Mafara left, another big issue about starting with what we have, especially looking at the type of society that we live in Zimbabwe. Vanhu vanojaja. Munojaja.
That's for sure.
Munoti jaja. You find sorry zvenyu. You find that the idea is always there. Like the idea iripo, you have the plan, you have everything. But the fact you could now try something new, and I'm sure some people have come across this. And my father mentioned this before. You pitch an idea to a friend or you pitch an idea to a neighbor or the likes. Anotanga kukubhomba ne all the reasons why it won't work. Munhu wese ari kuita huku, munhu wese ari kutengesa airtime, dzakazombofa, dzakazorwara, hakuna market. If I told you the number of times I've heard this, especially in the farming circles, hanzi market unozoiwana kupi. it's ko Ivins ari kuitei. And the funny thing, Ivins nyama yese iri kudyiwa chicken haiziwa Ivins futi, but vanhu vari kungodya chicken. Imarket iyoyo, you see. It's unfortunate because someone will project failure onto you just because iye wacho ari kutya kutanga. Chete. Iye ari kutya kutanga, saka they will project failure onto you such that they sort of like encapsulate you, or they add you to the bubble of being compliant and being content with where we are. I remember someone who told me kuti chinonakidza nhamo ndechekuti kana tirimo tese hatinyanyorwadziwe. Andika kana ndichiziva kuti kunext kwashayikwa chingwa ini ndashaya chingwa, we sort of feel comfortable kuti no, it's fine. If it's everyone who's suffering, then it's okay. It's shared suffering. And it's a mindset that is just like ingrained in humans. Those are theory. We are a social creature, and kufanana kunoita kuti tinzwe kakuva comfortable. So the moment you try to push the barrier and you try to be an outlier, you're trying to push and be someone different, people will point fingers because it's weird. Zviri abnormal. Why iwe uri kuda kutanga zvimwe zvakasiyana? Why wakudaita zvehuku? Wakuganza? You see, that's the kind of thing that happens, and it's unfortunate. It is zvakabva zvatsikirira. A lot of ideas have been put to rest and have been buried just because someone is pushed back and anotadza kutongopinda because of fear of judgment.
I've always had the story to tell. But if you've noticed why most people who are outside of the country excel, ndinofunga kuti as a person mukandiva mukana nhasi wekuti ndiende South Africa chaiva, no one knows me there. I can actually start cleaning.
Yes.
No one knows my background. No one knows my next of kin. No one. I'm just myself there, earning money, maybe sending it back to you guys so that you eat it or whatever that you want to do with it, right? And as long as I'm in Zimbabwe, I'll say this is something I will never touch. I will never do this. So people then excel in places where they don't have people that know them.
Where they are strangers.
Where they are strangers.
Mm-hmm.
But coming back to the point of judgment, Mavu, vanhu vatinozivana navo, they tend to be the ones that pull us down. Vanhu vasingatizvi havanei nesu.
Like people we know, we comfort zone yedu, like
exactly.
In a nutshell, yes.
Yeah, it's a comfort zone in a nutshell.
Yes, because not even South Africa is actually very far. I could go to Mutare right now, and I would be better in Mutare than I'm in Harare. Even though this is like an Mutare. I'm just there to earn. I don't care what the next person says because you don't know about me. So whatever you're gonna say is not going to affect me. But ndakakura naye mako agoti Kelly zvari kuita zviite ndigoramba ndichitozviita. In most cases, I'm just going to drop it and say, you know what, people are not happy, so let me find something else. Let me just, yeah.
Exactly. That's very true. It's a fact. Dzosera kumashure sterek. Zvekuti I don't have the data, I don't have the numbers, but somehow I feel like ndochatobata vanhu vakatowanda stereki ichocho chekunzwa kuti no ndingabva ndaonekwa ndichifamba chidedzera kuti ndotengesa perfume kana it's unfortunate kuti unobva wasarudza kuti it's better for me to sit rather than kuti ndizonzi zvinonyadzisa.
Yeah, I totally know what you're toward here. And I think the other thing that we have to deal with is the mind. I don't know what your mind. I may not even recognize my mind actually gives tendency more attention to the negative than to the positive. Maybe Kelly tells me something like maybe I want to venture into kidney farming and when I had a friend who had that I got failure because of Ashbude. And I noticed that our mind give more attention to negative thoughts. Positive thoughts.
Exactly.
Yeah. And the other thing that we have to work on is our mind. We have to, the greatest asset that we have done is our mind. Once you be able to overcome your fears, the negative thoughts, I think you'll be unstoppable.
That's true.
Okay, Kelly maybe did this. I can feel like that was your own journey. This is my journey. I have my own story to write. This is my legacy that I'm building. Not Kelly's legacy, not Marco's legacy. You have to know what it life individual project at the end of the day.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. And I think before we move on to the next one, to the next point, one other aspect that has made people sort of like shy away from starting is comparing chapter 1 yako to someone else's chapter 20. Them being a mentality. When you rub your shoulders with people who are way ahead, there is a tendency to rush the process. That process that they went through, like how a diamond is made over millions of years under great pressure. You want to jump that process. You want to go from being a nothing to being a diamond. And as a result, kuti zvinoita here, but you see, and it's sort of like holds you back a bit, because now you have the mentality that there's too big a gap for you to work through it, and for you to be consistent, and for you to build the habits that actually get you there. And as a result, it's better for you to sit and be comfortable. I think we're all coming around the point here, which comfort zone. Do you know, Raya? The comfort zone is the place where all hope and dreams and ideas die.
Right. And at the same time, we are fascinated by the results. No one wants to go through the process.
Exactly. No one wants to go through the process. And yet, if you're going to get flowers, you have to deal with the mud, you have to deal with the rain. But
Right.
Sure. Okay, you reminded me of something. Like, and it's actually about patience. And especially in people there, we don't have patience there. Because you know that with fast forward, I've seen a lot of business die because of lack of patience. I've seen a lot of relationships die because of lack of patience. I think we have that grace of patience. At no embark on a journey, maybe we are starting a business. We have to know what is at some point, at some time, kusangana nema-trials and tribulations in the road. It was always given, even in your life, in marriage, in education, career, whatever that you feel back on, we are going to meet, mama trials and tribulations. So I think the best thing you can ever do as beings is to prepare for storms. I know I'm a storm is quite bad. That's why we actually champions don't are not built on the champions are built on the other side of the champions are built on the side that I don't feel like. I don't know if you get me. I get you. Champions are built on the other side, yeah. That's where the champions are born. The side where they say I don't feel like it, that's where the champions are born. I don't feel like that's where we have to embrace as beings. That's true. That's true. That's true. And I would like to add on that point that Mafara mentioned as we cross over into the idea of what it means when we're talking about momentum beating motivation. Kuti, it's not just about feeling motivated, but it's about building the habits that will lead you there. From what Mafara mentioned, Kuti champions are built on the side of I don't feel like in it's there's a very very thin line between being motivated and actually being a progressive person. And the reason why I say it's thin is that it's easy to be exposed to content that simply motivates you, and it's motivation, it's hyping up. I think we've seen this quite a lot, right? You get hyped up, you get an idea, masanga na seshamwari, hype. For you to carry through, and that's a big word that I like using, the carry through process, for you to carry through from motivation to sitting down and planning and executing, it's something that most people don't push through. That's the side, I don't feel like, because it's hard to sit down and start planning. It's hard to call that person and ask, "Kuti, can we do this?" And as a result, when we lack consistency, and the entire bridge falls down. So what I'm trying to say to that listener is that it's not about motivation, Chad. It's not about hyping up, and it's not about just thinking, "Kuti, I had this good idea, ndikazofunga so and zofira my idea." Carry on that motivation and transfer it and convert it into one big word that we used in the previous episode, which Kelly mentioned, which is discipline. Build habits that make sense, that lead you to where you want to go. Because tinogona kuparidza kubva gore richitanga, this is January, tonyora maresolution, tofeel very hyped up and very motivated. Wanzwa episode 4 ye-KNM podcast, wanga vachitaura zvekuti start with what you have, you feel very hyped up. But I kid you not, without that discipline, without that habit, uchasvika December, uchingofila hype iyoyo pasina chiripo. That's just how it is. That's for sure. And one word of advice to that listener: you don't have to have the entire plan. Kelly, I'm sure Kelly can confirm. Mafara can confirm. You don't need to have the entire game plan from day 1 to day 0. You can plan for a week. Take that week. Go to week, but no plan for the next week. It doesn't have to all make sense at once. That's why it's good to start, because when you start, you expose yourself to failure. When you see failure, it helps you re-strategize and work towards the right goal.
Yeah. In line to what you just said, Marco, I remember the first time I started planning my life, my schedules and all that. It was scattered. I told you this before. It was very scattered, like paperwork, trying to balance A and B together. It's not aligning. It has been quite a hectic journey. But now that I'm into it, I started it.
Exactly.
Now I think 3 years in it,
Mm-hmm.
it's more aligned.
Mm-hmm.
Things are falling into place. If you look at my plans now, it's just there.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to go and purpose to figure out what is what and where is what going.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is just aligned.
Exactly.
1 month, 2 months, 3 months are enough for me to actually plan and be satisfied to say, you know what, for the next 3 months, this is what I'm taking in and this is what I'm not. So I'll be going with this.
Mm-hmm.
And when it happens, you'll be like, this wasn't so hard because I started.
Exactly.
Second Kelly on that one, I mean, actually, the dream is to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
And to keep going. Yeah, that can't be. But we should never give up. We should soldier on. We're like soldiers on the battle.
Exactly.
But then although we know with our interaction and our house could go. But we are just,
I think that's true.
but tiri asiri kudzoka ndiani. Hanzi 1 in 3 people don't return from the war. Saka pa 3 ndiani asiri kudzoka.
But every soldier out there will be fighting for survival. But anyway, be that soldier out of those 3.
Exactly.
Be that soldier. Whenever I don't know how today is gonna hold, but I'm gonna try my best. Give all the best.
Yeah, that's true. And that's from Kelly and Mafara's point of view. From my point of view, if we are to look at the start with what you have, I think a good example, a practical example that I can look at is the K&M podcast itself. When Kelly and I decided to start it, this podcast was born out of frustration after we saw a certain a certain event that was very expensive for our pockets at that time. And I highlight this 1,000 times. It was expensive at that time. It was expensive. So yes, we can afford it now. Progress, Baba. Progress. but from that bitterness, we didn't sit back and start pointing kuti hey, event you inodhura. Hey, vazoti havasi kuda kuti tive tiripo. We it's funny. I remember I called Kelly. I was Pazimdev at that time, and I said, Kelly, you know what? We can organize something like this for ourselves, and then we call Ningi, and then they come over, and then takutochimhanya chatoichi event chedu totsvaga maspika ekuchechi toita sei. And then Kelly was like, you know what? Aiwa, let's start it like this. And then magically, just like that, we're like, no, let's instead of doing that event, the idea was that let's get people to hear what we have to say. And from there, the KNM podcast was born. And then after its birth,
On that note, the thank you was born. KMM.
And I remember Kelly Deracho Airukwa. I went to her place with a notepad kangu to take notes and exchange notes. And we're just brainstorming and exchanging notes. And you know, in the back of your mind, unenge uchiti, but chatobuda here.
Wow. Wow. This is you confessing to guys.
No, this is not me. This is not me saying I looked towards failure. No. But that idea you could see what you're stepping into is bigger than yourself. Because I at that time, the time Nichita listened to other podcasts, and for the first time, this was now something where me and a friend takabata mic. So it's not an idea it's failure, no, but it's the idea wow, guys, this is big. And this is not me listening, but it's me creating. You see, that's the idea behind. And the funny thing, we bought a mic, the lapel thing, that mic thing, and we bought it. And life never paves a straight road. At that time, I had to go back to school, and then after that, Our first recording was over the phone. In fact, we've never had a recording a recording session besides the intro. That is face to face. That's one thing. But you find that we did our episode 1, we did our episode 2. Life happened between episode 2 and episode 3, and here we are doing episode 4. If we had chosen to sit back and point, we wouldn't have the K&M podcast. We wouldn't have 42 viewers, guys, on YouTube. I don't know who they are, but thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
Exactly. I don't know who those 42 people are, but 42 vanhu imimi mukangobatanidza mapondo-pondo yato 84 munototitengera zvakanaka. Takutopinda mubhuru. The next I show speed. So yeah, just to wrap it up, it's a good idea left idle is a sin. A good idea left idle is a sin. Every idea, act upon it. It's better to fail and to see kuti zvaramba totoona kuti zvabuka. It's funny when we were talking and chatting with Kelly, I was like, Kelly, guests, like, let's invite Mafara. He's our first guest. We don't know what will work out. We don't know if the first hour is going to be struggling with network. But you see, here we are. Here we are. So, in a nutshell, here we are. We've moved mountains. We've done so much. And it's good that we've had good friends like Mafara to be a part of the journey, challenging us and pushing us towards the right path.
It's definitely great to have you there, Nick.
I appreciate you guys. And I love you.
We love you too.
We love you too, Mafara. Each one. Shout out at the L word.
What was that?
In a nutshell, these are the things that we've had to come face to face with our friends. And at this moment, let me just hand over the mic to our guest for him to shake us up a bit.
Yeah. Thank you. Stay Mark. My tabas. So yeah. Thank you guys. It's been quite an awesome time with you here. And teaching and catching, it's like we were throwing the ball, but it's doing amazing, yeah, honestly. And I hope this message will reach a lot of people and it's gonna help me. So just a brief, we mentioned a lot of things there, but one of the most thing that got into my heart is like self-discipline. Is the thing that was really mentioned here. Which we have those circumstances where we face some trials, we face some tribulations, and then those things may be used against us maybe by other people that we ask for advice. And in my advice to you guys is like just stay focused and don't listen to everyone. It's just my next years I wonder along the way. Kila wangu chicholotsanga kecha makwakachita chakaringabuda I advise you to tanga chinhu chakadai so and let's try by all means tibude mumwe wegurumwandira uya atakabva nawo kumaprimary kumahigh school yoyo because dai mwari vaitida kuti tirarame semarobos takasema semarobos. There's a reason why you created as Kelly. There's the reason why I was created as Mafara. There's the reason why you was created as Mama. There are reasons, and we have different journeys, different assignments, and different tasks here. How by all means to figure yourself, what you need where are my strengths at, and try by all means to exercise and to practice best in your strength. There was no honesty, guy. Chimwe chinhu as a society ndechekuti iwe ndonoita accounting nokuti makwarazve accounting akabudirira. Who knows? Who knows kuti ndoyangatori path yake iyo kushaya direction to I think in this modern era we have to just be in alignment with kuti mwana wangu kana kuti wewe is good in sport. Try by all means to perfect that idea. Try by all means to be very supportive to yourself. And the biggest cheerleader that you have in your life is you. Cheer yourself every day. But I mean, no matter what is going to happen today, I'm going to keep going. No matter what the end, my affirmations. It shows that I'm a winner. I'm a conqueror. I told myself a lot of things. I'm a head, not a tail. Just try and affirm those positive things on yourself. Repeat it, you repeat it. And above all, I think we all Christians here, and we share the same faith. I think that's the other reason why we are here today, because of the same faith that we share. Above all, I think it is in Proverbs 16 verse 3, we say, commit everything unto the Lord and you establish it. Everything that you do, just tell the homage to surrender to the Maker. Which mwari patinopinda masango pamba inesu renzira atiziye zviri mberi kwedu. Even the good book says he knows the plans that he has for us, plans to prosper us. There's no way that God is going to lead us to things that are going to lead us to nezvino. Aina ndozi amwari asinganyadzisi kusto. Yeah, mwari ambonyadzisa ndozvo zvandonoziva.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Take it home, Kelly. Wrap it up for us.
Okay, so as we wrap up today's episode, we want to say thank you for being part of this community. We hope something we shared today spoke to you, challenged you, or encouraged you in some way. If you enjoyed this conversation, please subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with someone who might need it. Until next time, take care and keep growing.